Hey,
There. I hope everybody out there is doing well, and I hope you're having a great Memorial Day weekend. Let's not forget the men and women who have died for this country and who is basically the ones that we should be celebrating. We also want to make sure that we can hear everything that is going on. So give me a number one if you all can hear everything that is going on. Right now, what we're going to be talking tonight about, we got a jam-packed show, folks. And this show is going to be great. I hope you all are strapped in. You got your popcorn. You're ready to rock and roll because we got to talk about a lot of things that are taking place right now in this country that's going to affect everybody from people that are young all the way to people that are old. We have to make sure that we are being ready. We're also going to be talking about some things that are going on in the state of Florida right now for all the people that watch from here in Florida. We also want to make sure that people are being prepared for different types of catastrophic events that could be taking place this coming year. We are like locked and loaded with a jam-packed show tonight, and we are ready to go. So if everybody is ready, here we go. So, hey, welcome back to Survival Preparedness for Beginners, and thank you for joining me on this Memorial Day weekend. It is a great weekend. The weather down here in Florida is really nice after a week full of rain and everything else, but we desperately needed that rain, folks. And I'm sure there's going to be certain parts of this country where, there was a storm that was kind of developing a little bit and was going to move up into the North Carolina coast and stuff. You guys probably might get a little wet this weekend. But down here in Florida, it's absolutely gorgeous outside. We just can't complain. Like I did say, after all this weather that we did have, I would like to make sure that everybody that is joining in from Facebook and Twitter and here on YouTube, welcome to Survival Preparedness Beginners live stream on Saturday night at 8 p.m. I'd also like to make sure that I do welcome all the members and everything else. Thank you all for being a part. There is going to be a members only video that's going to be coming out very soon. So keep your eyes open for that one there. We do have a lot of stuff that is coming down the pike that we're going to talk about here in a little while. Once we get through all this other stuff that we desperately need to be talking about, because things are getting crazy, folks, and people are just losing their mind out here. If everybody would like, hey, where are you all from tonight? Everybody put in the comments right now, where is everybody from? We haven't done this in a while, and we need to get back to the basics. All right, where is everybody from? I know where a lot of people are from, but I'd also like to thank a lot of my moderators that are on here tonight. We have Coffee First and Speak, JT, we have Jan, and I haven't seen the newest member yet, and that is Florida. DCL, is he in here tonight? Yes, he is. South Florida DCL. I don't know why it's not showing yet, but as of right now, you are a new moderator on this channel here. So congratulations. I have boosted up another moderator to help everybody out and to keep things family friendly and to keep people in line. Just because people just, nowadays you got to have people that do that, because I can't monitor everything that's going on in the chat box over there and also bring you the content that I need to. So let's see here. Where is everybody from? Yes, everybody, please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you get notified every time that I have any type of videos coming out or any type of content whatsoever. If you haven't noticed, there has been short videos coming out. There's long form videos coming out. We're going to start doing some polls also in the community tab. We have members videos coming out, and hopefully soon I'm going to start doing members only live stream. I was going to start this weekend, but it's a really tough weekend. A lot of people are traveling. You want to go see your friends, your family, and everything else. And I hope everybody stays safe while they're doing that, and you have a great time enjoying yourself on this long weekend. Now, I see people from Texas. Yes, Texas is here. Who else is in here? St. Louis. Cowgirls from St. Louis. Claude's from Chicago. Oregon. Karen, nice to see you from Oregon. Kay's from Cincinnati. Mary's from Wisconsin. We have another person from Chicago. We got some Chicago people in here. Chicago. I used to go there when I was a kid. I grew up right in Indianapolis, and we used to go up to Chicago all the time on all different types of trips and stuff with school. The food up there is awesome. So, hey, we got Hamilton, Ohio. No, on Canada. Sorry. Lefty Lisa's from Pennsylvania. How you doing, Lefty Lisa? Hope you're doing well. It's good to see you. Wesley Chapel, Florida. We got somebody from Florida. Pitbull, New York. All right. Kit's from West Coast, Florida. Coffee First and Speak, Long Island, New York. Ohio, Ed Case. Yeah, look at all these people joining in here. Maryland. All right, you folks are doing great. Florida, another Florida. Kevin's from Kentucky. Palm Bay, South Florida, DCL. You're not too far from me. Probably about a 30-minute ride or so. Rockamoss, West Central Indiana. Rockamoss, I hope you're doing well. And I hope that the things we're going to be talking about tonight, I hope that everything pans out. Johnny's here. Hey, Johnny, it's good to see you from Texas. Auburn, Alabama. Rebecca's in here. Another person from Indiana, Jessica. That's my home state. Kansas. Oh, there's the droughts out there in Kansas are getting a little hairy out there, I think, Miss Gardner. Jan's in here from Northwest Georgia. Let's see here. Casual Preparedness is in here on the Gulf Coast of Alabama tonight. All right, maybe you're traveling. South Texas again. Let's see here. Erica's from Coal City, Illinois. And far northeast Ohio here. Dee's Craft, cool and rainy here on the coast of South Carolina. Some very upset tourists. Yes, they're probably not liking that very much. They should have come to Florida. Let's see here. Oh, wait, there's all these travel bans. Maybe people don't want to. Let's see here. Hi from the coastal Maine. Maine. Oh, you're getting up there close to my stomping grounds in Vermont. Louise, Mississippi Gulf Coast. Look at all these people. You people are just awesome tonight. So I hope everybody is doing well, and I hope that everybody, Johnnyson, UP of Michigan, DeLand, Florida, man, not too far. Let's see here. Michael, Southern Maryland, where the Potomac River and the Cheapskate Bay meet. Oh, that's nice. Probably some good fishing down in there, right? All right, let's see here. Good evening from North Carolina, wet and chilly. Yes, that little that thing that's been over us for a while, unfortunately, has left, and it went to you. Sorry about that, but it is what it is. Let's see here. Like I did say, thank you for all my moderators, Jan and Coffee First and JT. Thank you for being here. JT, as you did notice, I took your advice and I changed the video that was going to come out tomorrow. I was going to do basically it was going to be a live stream based on a video and everything else. And I changed it based on the advice of JT because I wasn't thinking when I set it all up. Holiday weekend, a lot of people aren't going to be around and doing things and everything else. But I'm telling you, tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you're going to want to try to catch my video on beef because there's a lot of great sales going on this weekend, and you want to make sure that you're getting out there and maybe stocking up. And I'm going to tell you why in that video that comes out tomorrow. So you're going to want to find that one, and you're going to want to watch that video because it has a lot of good information in it. I did a little bit different this time here. I get tired of doing the old, everything's down and out, and, I mean, all the bad news and everything else. So I tried lightening it up a little bit, and I made it a little bit funny. So y'all turn in and watch it. I hope you like it. So let's see here. Am I missing anybody else? I don't see anybody. Oklahoma is here. David from Oklahoma. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining in. Tennessee. Love Tennessee. Robin is here. Oh, yes. We are ready to rock and roll on a jam-packed video tonight, and we're going to kick that off, and we're going to be starting that right about now. Now, as we all do know and aware, that our lovely government has finally put us into a pickle. Now, what have they done? All right, we're talking about the good old debt ceiling. Now, what does this all mean for everybody? Well, this is what is really going to happen if something happens and we can't come to some type of an agreement on this whole situation here. You have literally multi-millions of people that this is going to affect. Now, who's it going to affect? Well, it's the one that the government just likes to play with. There's two groups of people that the government always loves to play with when it comes to money. The people that are on Social Security and the military and our vets. Kind of ironic on Memorial Day that we are having this discussion. Let me elaborate here. All right, think about this. All right, these people have had more than enough time to try to iron out and come to an agreement. Now, I don't care what side you're on because really, I particularly don't trust any of them. But here you go. All right. So it's come down to, they've been trying to push back and forth, and they're doing all these different things, and they want to try to make sure that, well, you know what? It's just like, oh, well, we don't want to give on this and we don't want to give on that. And we want to make sure that, we're all taken care of and we get everything we want. Well, that doesn't really work, as we can see, because look at the pickle we're in. You have multi-millions of people that depend on Social Security, especially the elderly, the people that have built this country, the backbone. They put the blood, sweat, and tears in, and you are now basically trying to threaten them to what? You're going to take their Social Security away? And for a lot of these people, that's all they have to survive on is the little bit that they get from Social Security. All right. Secondly, we're going after the veterans. All right. Now they've been threatening back and forth that if we default and this thing goes on, then what happens to our vets? All right. I'm going to tell you what happens to the vets. These men and women that have fought and gone through hell for this country and are disabled for whatever reasons. There could be 1,000 different things that we could talk about. All right. But these men and women that depend on these things from the government, these veterans from their pensions, even if they put in their 20 years or 30 years or whatever else, they depend on that money coming in. That's all they have coming in. All right. Not only with them are they going to be taking away their pay, but they could also be shutting down the VAs and everything else. So they have no doctors to go to on Memorial Day weekend. Isn't it just kind of ironic? And I'm getting really tired of hearing these people go back and forth. He says, she said, we want this, we want that. We're not going to budge on this. We're not budging on that. Well, then you tell me, folks, where is the bipartisanship really going with this whole situation? Think about this, okay? I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, Libertarian. It doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is if something happens, all right, for one, you all are still going to get paid. Meanwhile, everybody that's on Social Security, everybody that is on these veterans and everything else, they're going to be losing, their pay. They're going to be losing their medical. The Social Security people, they're not going to get any money. You think these people that are on Social Security have thousands and thousands of dollars in the bank? Give me a break. My mother doesn't. She lives off her Social Security. She budgets out her bills and stuff per month, and whatever's left is what she's got. Period. End of conversation. Not that I would let anything happen with my mother. If she needs money, I'll give her money. But a lot of people aren't in that boat. Now, are they? I mean, why is it that every time that something like this comes around, our government seems like they put their heads up their rear ends and they're like, ostriches out in the freaking sand? I mean, we don't want to work together. There is no more of this working together anymore. And that's the sad thing with this country. I understand everybody has their own thing and, they want this and this group wants that and everything else. But somewhere along the lines, something has to give. Am I not correct? Please tell me if I'm not correct. If you think that what I'm saying, I'm correct, that somewhere along the line, you know, you have to come to some type of agreement. We can agree on this, and okay, we'll take this, and you got to give it back and forth, right? I mean, it's just kind of like a common thing. So give me a number one if you agree with me. If you agree that they should be working throughout all these different things, and they probably should have done this a long time ago, so we're not all sitting in this boat that we're sitting in. What do you all think? Huh? I mean, come on. I mean, this is just getting a little ridiculous, right? I mean, I'm sure all of you probably, maybe not all of you, but a lot of you out there, maybe you have grandparents, maybe your parents or anything else, and they're on Social Security. What happens when these people can't afford to put a roof over their head? They can't put food on the table. What happens to that? What happens to these people that have children and stuff that are on some type of disability or something because of something uh, very bad or some disease or something like that? And I mean, these families are getting this money to help pay to take care of their kids. What happens then? You see what I'm saying? I mean, this is like a no-win situation here. And this is what they are saying. All right. Here's the big thing that is the sticking point right now. All right. With everything else that is going on. All right. One of the big sticking points right now is the provision to impose new work requirements for certain social safety net programs. And that remains one of the final sticking points of this agreement. Yes, I know. Kind of ironic, right? We want to cut money. All right. How about we stop sending so much damn money to every other country that's out there and we start taking care of ourselves? Now, I'm not saying we have to sit back and stop helping, but why is it we are always like the number one country that has to do the most? All right. Give you a perfect example. Ukraine. Now, I understand that we have to try to maintain some type of a balance here because they're so worried with, Putin moving in and taking over and all this kind of stuff, and it's better than putting boots on the ground. We've all heard the same old sad story. How many billions of dollars do we have to give to Ukraine? And are we getting anything back in return? Tell me. Put it in the comments. What do you think? You think we're getting anything back in return? No, we are not. We're giving them all the ammo. We're giving them all the supplies. We're giving them everything. Now, kind of funny, you turn around, you take all that money, and we're talking billions, if not trillions of dollars once this is all said and done, because now um, our lovely president here has decided that, you know what? I think that, well, we might just send the F-16s over there and we'll pay to train them. But not only do you have to train them to fly them, we have to train mechanics to work on them. We have to train people to know how to load them with the ammo and missiles and bombs that we're going to be purchasing ourselves and sending over there. Meanwhile, we're depleting our own stocks, and our military now is running around trying to figure out how we're going to get all this replaced. Gee, I wonder why. I mean, think about this for a minute here. But then you turn around and you look and see how much money that we are giving to some of the third world countries, like Africa, for instance. Okay. All right. Yes, there are a lot of people that are in desperate need in Africa. I get that. But why is it we have to give the most out of any country? Why is it we have to always be the top? Let somebody else take on this role for a while. You know what I'm saying? Let somebody else like rip open the checkbook and dump all the money out on the table and say, here you go. Here's the thing. If we would really sit back and look where we could cut spending, we probably could find a lot of different areas. They do have billions and billions of dollars that are already in reserve because of the whole COVID thing. All right. Um, I hate to tell them, but maybe we should take all those billions and billions of dollars and let's just kind of use that money. Now, that has been discussed. Now, we won't know what the true uh, dictatorship of this whole bill will be once it does come out, until it comes out, I should say, because, it's all hearsay here and there and everywhere. So, I mean, meanwhile, you have people that are really struggling with the fact is, am I going to be getting my pension from the military? Am I going to be getting my social security? Am I going to be able to go to the doctor because Medicaid is going to be froze, Medicare is going to be froze, the veterans aren't going to be able to go to the doctors? Not to mention, all right, all these young new people that are all out there and you're all in love and everything else, and you get married, which is a beautiful thing, and you get married and everything else, and you want to settle down and have a kid or kids and everything, and you want to buy a house. Do you know what the interest rate is going to jump to if we default? They're talking it's going to jump up to at least 8.6% or higher. Now, you tell me how somebody's going to be able to afford, say, a $300,000 home on say, an 8.6% interest rate. More than likely, I mean, in the state of Florida here, there's not a lot of these quote real high paying jobs. It's not like you're living in New York where everybody makes over 100 grand a year. There are some industries here in Florida that people do make good money. I mean, aerospace, anything to do with the SpaceX, Alliance, NASA, these type of people, all these people that work in and around the airports, people that work on the planes, people that do all this kind of stuff. There are these type of jobs. But for the normal Joe, It ain't happening. You're lucky. Maybe you're making your minimum wage, maybe a little bit more. And how are you going to afford any of this kind of stuff? What is going to happen is we're going to push ourselves into a massive recession if these idiots in Washington can't get their heads out of the sand and come to an agreement on some type of bill. Do you know how many people are going to be suffering because of this? This is a catastrophic event that is unfolding right before our eyes, and they don't care. The head of the Republican Party made a statement this past week, and she stated that if we do default, it will benefit the Republican Party, quote unquote. And if you don't believe me, you all can just research that one. So, all right. So you're telling me you don't care what is happening to the American people. You don't care what happens to the veterans. You don't care what happens to the elderly people. You don't care any of this as long as it pushes your party further down the road and makes you look good. Because we all know now, I'm not defending Biden at all or anything else, but if this all does go down, he'll be the one to blame. I'm sorry, I don't buy it because it should be a give and take. They all preach that they want to be bipartisan. We want to work together, right? I mean, I get such a laugh out of this, but unfortunately, there's a lot of people that will be suffering because of their stupidity. And that's what I call it, is their stupidity. If you want to be like an ostrich and you got your head buried in the sand and you're not willing to work and cross party lines and try to come together and try to meet in the middle to basically meet the needs of the American people, the ones that are paying your paychecks, because you'll probably be the only ones that are going to be getting paid. Well, we have a problem, don't we, folks? We have a very big problem. And a lot of people are going to suffer. And I hate to see what's going to happen if this goes on for very long. Now, here's what I think is probably going to end up happening. Supposedly, they had made a statement that they had to come to an agreement today because they sent everybody home except for a few select few had to stay in Washington. Everybody had to go home for Memorial Day weekend, which I don't agree with, anyways. I think everybody should have had to stay there and work out the deal, you know, but that's not how they do it. So they send everybody home. So if they want everybody back on Tuesday, they have to notify them by the end of today. So that means they have to come to an agreement so they can bring everybody back to the house so they can vote on it. So then it can be all done up in the nice paperwork, then passed on to the Senate, in which then the Senate has to make sure that they can vote on it and get it all done by June 1st, midnight on the 31st. I mean, come on. So you have to really sit back and ask yourself, just what the heck are these people doing? You know, it doesn't really affect them. They're getting their pockets filled from all the different types of companies and organizations and everything else that wants this and wants that and everything. And for what? You know, I mean, it's coming off the backs of us and the American people, the veterans and the older folks that have built this country, that have paid the prices and everything else. And this is how we treat them? Really? This is what we do. It's very, the more I read and the more I really dive into this whole debt ceiling thing, it just really ticks you off because we don't have to be where we're at. If one side would have had more meetings earlier in the year, we knew this was coming. It's not like it snuck up on us yesterday and was like, oh, well, we got to do the debt ceiling. I forgot all about that one. Comes around almost every single year here, folks. I don't know what to tell you. But hey, I mean, I guess that's why they get paid the big bucks, right? Um, you have people that do believe that it's all Biden's fault. Then you have people that believe that it's all Kevin McCarthy's fault. So you have people that are saying, oh, it's all the Democrats. And you have the Democrats saying, it's the Republicans. I really don't care whose fault it is. Fix the damn problem. Do we want to have people that are sitting here suffering? Is that what America's come to? We're going to hold hostage between the veterans and Social Security people? Is that what we've come to? What do you think? Put it in the comments. What do you think that we have come to? We definitely don't really care much about each other anymore. Every time you turn on the TV, well, somebody else is shot. Oh, somebody shot over here. Oh, 5 or 6 people were shot over here, And it's not the guns, it's the morons behind it. I mean, they can do whatever they want to do. They can take away whatever they want to take away. They can try to put all this kind of stuff in here. And, all they keep doing is coming back and they say, oh, it's mental health. I'm tired of that one also. It's like, stupid is, stupid does. You know what I'm saying? I mean, whatever happened to the good old days when you had just an agreement with somebody and you got into a fist fight with them and that was it. Not anymore. Hell, here in Florida, they'll shoot you driving down the road. Road age here in Florida is just out of control. If you're coming down here, don't do what you do in your state because you're liable to get shot. I'm just saying, folks. I drive these roads every single day. I've seen a lot of stuff happen, and it's not pretty. People don't care about people anymore. You're nothing to them. This catastrophic event that is unfolding right in front of our eyes is very, very serious. It's too late for a lot of people to plan for this. A lot of people probably thought that they would already come to an agreement. We wouldn't even be having this video talk, but we're not there. These people are the ones that are going to be affected. These people are going to have to figure out how they're going to pay their rent or their mortgage, or even how they're going to put food on their table. These people are the ones that are going to suffer. And it's a crying shame. Now, talking about catastrophic events that are unfolding this coming year. If you live in Florida right now, the bill that the governor did sign, I think he did this a few years ago, but he extended out the tax-free days for buying your hurricane supplies and everything else here in the state of Florida. And it runs for 14 days, which is a beautiful thing. I think it gives a lot of people opportunity to get out and stock up on supplies that they may need. If you live here in Florida, you always make sure that you do have a pretty good stockpile in case of hurricanes, because all it takes is one. And a lot of people always learn the hard way because they're never prepared. A lot of states, I have done videos and stuff, and I've talked about this. I'm not going to go into it now, but a lot of states that are along the Gulf Coast and up the East Coast, they do the similar thing. Florida is one of the longest running ones at 14 days. They actually do it twice. They do it in the beginning of the season, and then at the peak of season, they do it again for people that may need to be getting either more supplies restocked, or that's usually when you really have to worry about something bad happening. Here's the thing. If your state offers anything like this, whether you get a hurricane or you don't, it's a great time to try to stock up on a lot of preps, because like down here in Florida, you get tax breaks and everything else on generators. You get tax breaks on camping equipment, because camping equipment can all be used as emergency supplies, right? batteries and flashlights and headlamps. Um, I mean, all types of stuff. Now, every state that does this is a little bit different, offers different things, offers different amounts um, for your security, for you and your family, so that you can turn around. And then you can also make sure that, you have what you need and you save a little bit of money doing it. So if you're looking to buy that generator right now, now's a good time to be doing it. I also did notice that Amazon was running some specials on quite a few different products and everything else. And if anybody's interested, um, my Amazon storefront, um, you can go right into there and you can shop around and everything else. Like I said, doesn't matter to me if you buy anything from my storefront or not. Go in there, see what, I've got it all broken down. I spent a lot of time putting a lot of things in there. You see what works for you, then you can turn around. And if it's a little bit too expensive for you, maybe, or what else, look for something that's similar and buy that product. You know, I have my Amazon storefront. I mean, I don't make hardly any money off of it, but a lot of people have responded and stuff that it's given them a lot of great ideas by going in there and looking around. I put a lot of great products together, and a lot of they're all done in different groups and everything else. You'd have to just go in and check that right out. For all of you people, if you want, all you got to do is just go to my main YouTube page, and right at the top on the right corner right there, you'll see a thing that says Amazon. All you got to do is click it and you're at my Amazon storefront. Now, one thing that you have to remember is you want to make sure that you're buying the products that, that are going to benefit you, that are going to last for quite a while. That's the name of the game. If you're saving money right now, buy good batteries, buy good flashlights. So like I did say, some states cap it at a certain price, but you can still um, check it out, see what your price ranges and stuff are. Usually they're right on the websites of the state. Like here in Florida, I mean, you can pull up just probably any news network, and they're going to tell you what is covered, what's not. They have full lists and everything. I know in Orlando, I believe it's Fox 35. They have a complete list of what you can buy in the state of Florida and how much up to, and you know, the whole 9 yards. It's right there for you. It takes the guessing game right out. So you just check with your news media, because usually they're right on top of this kind of stuff, because they're out there. They're trying to make sure that everybody is staying safe and being prepared, because being prepared for a hurricane just doesn't cover a hurricane. And this is where I'm going with this here. This is another catastrophic event that is unfolding right before our eyes. We have just switched from was it La Nina to El Nina, and usually when that does take place, the Atlantic goes kind of silent. There's not really a lot of storms, but here's the problem: everything is heating up. All right. And everything's heating up, and that includes the Atlantic Ocean. So, what is happening this year is the Atlantic Ocean is warmer than what it should be during this time of year. And it has a lot of people at the NOAA and all these other huge different um, colleges that do forecasts for like hurricanes and stuff, and they can't come to an agreement on really what is going to take place. It's kind of like a wait and see. Now, when I hear that word wait and see, that should be like a big red flag that's flying behind you that says, hey, um, maybe I should top off a few things, and maybe I should be, getting ready. Now, this isn't just for people with hurricanes and everything else. There's a lot of different things that are taking place right now. Some parts of this country are being cut off from getting any rain, and they are going into drought. Now, you have other parts of this country that is like, I mean, what out there in California, we have these lakes that are already sudden, they're back, and now they're flooding everything. But The problem is what people don't realize. Everybody says, "Oh, this is great. California's getting all this water back. It's filling up the lakes and everything." Well, these lakes were turned into farmland. And these farmers that have been planting in these lake beds for years because they've been dried up for years, all of a sudden, all their crops, the trees, the orange trees, all these different types of things are all underwater now. So now they're having to try to build levees to save some of the towns that are out there because of the massive snow melt from the Sierra Nevadas and all that. And where's the water run? Well, if it's up on a hill, water runs downhill, right? So now we've gone from being bone dry and drought stricken and everything else out and towards California to a nice wet moisture. Hey, look, the lake's back, grab the boat. you know um we are in a really big pickle here, folks. You got part of Kansas that is really having issues with getting any rain whatsoever. There are certain different parts of the country that are in the same boat, which is affecting the cattle. And like I said earlier in the very beginning of this video, if you missed it, then you could go back and rewatch, but I'll give you a brief tone on that. Tomorrow I do have a video coming out about beef. There's not really been a lot in the news media about this because we're all worried about the debt ceiling. So this is where everything else kind of like slides underneath the carpet. But it's things that are going to be affecting you and me and the prices and everything else. And that's why I'm really suggesting if you're running across some good deals this weekend, because usually around Memorial Day, I mean, me and the wife went shopping today and we got some really good deals on steaks and ribs, pork chops, fish, the whole 9 yards. They're out there right now. They're not going to last very long based on what I've found out. So here's the thing, folks. The world's going mad. They want us to pay for it. They want to cut everybody's Social Security. Your Medicaid, Medicare, well, that's going bye-bye. If you're a veteran, well, hey, thank you for your service, but we're not going to pay you either. And you're not going to get your benefits out there. So that's where we stand. We have droughts. We have floods. We have heat waves that are supposed to be unreal this year. They're saying it's supposed to be the hottest year ever recorded in the history that they've been keeping track of the temperatures, which I believe them, because it's already been like really hot in a lot of different places. And a lot of people are just like, hey, what's going on here? So what are we going to do? There's not really much we can do about the debt ceiling now, is there? We're kind of along for that ride. And we have to live with the consequences that they put us under, our government. We can plan for the future events as far as weather issues, as far as floods, heat waves, hurricanes, droughts, all these different types of things. We can make plans for those type of things. We can control how we fare during any one of those. The debt ceiling, unless you had money in the bank, and we're going to talk about one more thing before I finish up once I'm done with this, but unless you had money in the bank where you have a little bit of cushion, and your cushion may be dwindling, but if you had a little bit of cushion that maybe could get you through a month or two, you'd probably start getting your money back, because I don't think it's going to go any longer than, I don't think it's going to go that long at all. If it does default, we have seen in past history how it comes right down to the wire. The midnight deal signing just before midnight, just before we default, and they saved a day. And then, everybody gets to run around and, And, they want the praise because they actually did their job. They just waited till the last damn minute to do it. Here's another problem. Speaking of having your money in the bank. Now, I have seen a lot of different things being talked about on YouTube, and I have been reading a lot of different articles throughout all the different news medias. And they're talking about if we do go into default, because the way that our banking system is right now, you got so many banks that are like teetering on like, going bankrupt because of, they keep raising the interest rates and everything else. They're looking at putting a cap, evidently, on how much money you can withdraw from your account in a given day and lowering that cap. Because there is a cap, like if you go to a bank machine, you can only take out so much money. If you go inside, you can take out a lot more. But what they're looking to try to do to try to curb people from pulling all their money out of the bank and then the banks collapse because, everybody's like, way over budget now. It doesn't matter if it's the government, all these banks and stuff, they just don't have the backing for the amount of money that they have to give back to the people that put the money in the bank in the first place. So what happens is, you have all these big banks. Well, as we all saw, when all the smaller banks started to fail, well, they bought all these smaller banks. So they acquired all these, bailed them out and everything else. But do you think did all these big banks can sit here and bail out everybody? Did anybody happen to notice over the last few days the price of gold and silver have been dropping? Copper is going through the roof. Kind of odd because usually in this type of circumstance, usually gold and stuff is going up, but it's going down. Makes you wonder what's going on, right? Really. So the moral of the story is here, these catastrophic events that are unfolding right before our eyes is just a tip of the iceberg of things to come, because we are coming into some very volatile times as a country. I think if we end up giving the F-16s and stuff to Ukraine, it is going to end up in some type of I don't know if I want to say war. Could be. But it's going to be a big conflict between us and Russia. And we'll have to see how this plays out. Because I don't think either side really wants a war. Because the only way that this is going to end is in nuclear. Because Putin's already used up most of all his military might. He hasn't sent in a lot of his top priority type, well-trained military personnel into Ukraine. He's been sending in all the people that they forced to join their army, and those are the ones that have been lucky ones to go into Ukraine. So Ukraine really hasn't been facing off against all the elite forces like what we have here, your Green Berets, your SEALs, and all these, your Rangers, and all these different type of people. Those people haven't been put into the war yet. They've all been held back. But he has lost a lot of equipment. He's lost a lot of men. He's also lost a lot of ammo. And, with us being the ones that are sitting here and we're feeding all this stuff into them, to Ukraine and everything. But I think if we are the ones that are going to be initiating the F-16s to go into Ukraine, I think that's going to be a real nail biter for a lot of people. I think you'll see a lot of different things change and happen, possibly more different types of alarming events taking place, close call events, things of this nature. So we'll have to wait and see. Um, we are also in a time of crisis when man doesn't care about man anymore. It seems the um, people that lead, whether it be in the main government, your local government, your state government, or whatever else, they're kind of forgetting about the rights of every human being. Now, you all can all have your own opinion, and that's fine because that's why we live in this country. And if you want to post your opinion, that's fine also. Sometimes I get a chuckle out of reading some of them, and a lot of them I like and I agree with them. But here's the thing, I don't care what color you are. You can be brown, you can be black, you can be red, you can be yellow, you can be green, you can be white. It doesn't matter. If you are living in this country and if you are here legally, let me stress that word, legally, you've done everything you've had to do, you're right here with us, then everybody has the same rights. Why is it all of a sudden now it seems like we're going back in time? Um, there's actually a school here in Florida that is trying to ban the Bible. Where do you think this is really going, folks? Really? You got all these other crazy, sick books that are out there, and we're worried about banning the Bible because, oh well, I mean, wow, it's a little out there, and it probably could be scaring the kids. Yeah, I'm sure if you're sitting there reading about Noah and the ark and gathering all the animals, I mean, only a fool would set a kid down and say, "Hey, read the book of Revelations and see what you think." You'd be like, reading a Steven Spielberg, you know, type story, or Stephen King, I should say, not Spielberg, Stephen King's type, book, and scare the crap out of them. But this is just what I'm saying. I mean, this country is it's going the wrong direction, and until we can get some type of unity back into the brotherhood of, you know, people actually respecting each other, if nothing else, just because you're another American. We've always disagreed. I mean, come on. I mean, who hasn't had disagreements throughout your life? I mean, whether it be at your job, I mean, with your family, I mean, you know how family reunions are. I mean, come on, I mean, the whole nine yards. But in the end, you kind of usually work out your differences and you try to sit back and patch the holes. And yeah, if you have to apologize, you apologize. But we're not getting there. And the sad thing is, it doesn't really look like it's getting any better. It's only getting worse. So, on that note, folks, all I can say is it's totally up to you guys what you want to do. But if I would just give you a little bit of advice on what is taking place, my advice would be you need to be preparing and trying to do whatever you can. The boat is taking on water. This big boat that we're all in, what is it, 300 and some odd million people that live in this country. Um, and yeah, I mean, there's too many holes and there's not enough people bailing. They're all sitting in a corner and trying to figure out, well, what can I do for me, and screw the rest of you. We got to work as a team. It's a team effort. So my thing on the whole team effort here is in this community, a lot of people have helped a lot of people out. A lot of people have asked a lot of questions, and a lot of people answer those questions in my videos, on my live streams, and anything. I've seen people help people out and, give them advice on what they would do or how they may do it or anything else. And we got to really concentrate on that. You have to get your preps up. You have to be prepared for any unknowns because at this point in time in the game, the unknowns are a lot higher than what they've ever been before in the history of this country. And the only ones that can really do that is you. You have the ability to take this to a whole nother level. You have the ability to sit there and make a stance. You have the ability to walk into a store and look at that great big, huge, big screen TV sitting over there. They got on sale for $700. Oh man, it's an 80-inch. Wow, that look good on the wall back there, right? But what's it going to do for you? It ain't going to feed you. It ain't going to save you. It ain't going to protect you. So what's it good for? At this point in time, I would highly suggest that you really think about how you spend your money. I released a video about that the other day. Some people liked it. Some people didn't. Sometimes the truth hurts, and so be it. But I'm not here to sugarcoat anything either. My job is to try to keep you all safe. If you don't like the way that I do it or what I'm saying, I'm sorry. But I'm not going to sit here and try to make things look like they're all hunky-dory when they're not. Because I am truly concerned about my community here on Survival Preparedness for Beginners. I am the one that is running the show. I am the one that is set here and I think about what I want to do and what I want to talk about and how it's going to affect all of you and how it's going to help you and protect you in the long run. Because I care. I'm not some idiot that's just sitting here just trying to, give you a line of BS and, that's it. I'm not here for the subscribers. I'm not here for the views. I'm not here for any of this. Yes, all that is all nice. We all like that. What YouTube channel doesn't, it helps push out the message that we're trying to get across. And that message is that we have to be prepared. We have to do what we have to do right now while we still can, before a time comes when we can't, and then it's too late to even go back and watch any videos because they've been telling you for the last almost 4 years, you need to be ready. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that are in denial. I see them every day. I talk to people. And, they don't believe that they really need to do that. They don't need to prep. They don't need to do anything. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's ever happened. It's not going to happen in this country. Well, I hate to tell you, folks, if you live by that demeanor, and if you believe that, well, I'll pray for you. Because I have a feeling with everything that's going on, something bad is bound to happen. And if we're not ready, it's not really going to be nothing. It's not going to matter. Because you're going to be left with nothing. And you're either going to have to try to rob or steal it or whatever else to try to get whatever you may need just to put some kind of a meal in front of your family when you don't have to do that. Your food and water preparations are your two top things. I'm just saying, folks. I don't want to see anything happen to anybody. I also am not going to sit here and feed you a line that everything's fine because, well, guess what? It's not. Don't believe what you hear on the news and everything else that, oh, they're so close. They're going to get it all done. Oh, yeah, it's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. Because, in all honesty, folks, I don't believe anything until I see it written in stone and signed by the president that, hey, guess what? You don't have to worry about that at this point in time. Till then, it's a whole different ballgame for a lot of you people out there. And I feel really bad for quite a few of you. And you all know who you are. I'm going to jump over here and take a couple of quick comments. And so if you got any questions or anything, throw them in all caps. And we've already run about an hour here. And we'll just see what we got here. So one of my moderators says, JT says, hope a hurricane doesn't arrive while I'm home alone. I can put those panels up alone. If that happens, JT, I will be over to your house and I will help you out. As you all know, JT is pretty close to me. So don't worry about that, JT. We'll take care of it. Let's see here. Welcome to all the newbies. Much love. Yes, there is quite a few new people in here, and I really do appreciate it. All American Prepper. I do believe that only preppers and self-reliant people are going to survive what is coming, and I would totally agree with you. Totally agree. Yes, don't worry. Something happens. JT, if you need help, reach out. Yes, we got you, JT. Don't worry about it. I'm home alone now. I divorced 2 hurricanes. Any news on the Russian volcano blast last week? I saw something about that come across the news, and I really haven't seen anything else. So who knows? And who really knows if it was a volcano, right? I mean, these people are just going crazy. D, hi from New Hampshire. Yeah, right next door to Vermont, where I'm going to hopefully end up some point in time. Carl says, Satan time is up. He has a short time. This is his last stand to make men and his image. All he can do is pervert God's creation. I would have to say you're probably right. The news is nothing but mainstream propaganda. Yes, you have to read through a lot of loopholes in there, don't you, there, All-American Prepper? I tell you what. T-Rex is survival preparedness for beginners. When do you think would be a good time to start to prep? When do you think would be a good time to start to prep? Probably about right before COVID. Now, I'm not saying that to be sarcastic or anything else. I'm hoping that you have been doing some prepping or anything else. But I mean, if you haven't, you really need to get on a bandwagon, especially if you have a family, and start trying to do what you can do and start prepping now. Prepping before the whole COVID thing would have been ideal. And that's basically when I started my channel, was just prior. It was October of 2019 is when I started my YouTube channel here. Now I've been on YouTube, I watch videos and all this kind of stuff. But legitimately starting my own YouTube channel was in October of 2019, right before the whole COVID thing hit. And luckily, at that point in time, my wife just thought I was crazy. My wife didn't know what the hell I was doing because I was going to the store and I'd come back with a carload of food. I started putting stuff up, started vacuum sealing stuff, putting stuff in Mylar bags, stocking up on canned goods. And she thought I was crazy until COVID hit. And when that happened, we didn't need anything from the store, but I wanted to see what's going on. Seeing all these reports, I took her with me. and we went to the Walmart, actually down by JT's house. And we went down there and we went in, and it was literally a zoo, folks. I mean, you saw people fighting over food and toilet paper. We watched as 3 Walmart employees rolled a pallet out, and they took the pallet and they brought it down there, and they're getting ready to unload the pallet and to put the products on the shelf. It was toilet paper. They didn't even get a chance. It was just like you dropped a raw piece of meat into a pool of piranha. That's what it was like. These people are pushing and shoving, and they rip the plastic off this thing, and they're grabbing cases of freaking toilet paper and everything else. And I just pushed my wife back behind me, and I just stood there and watched. And I was just like, I at that point I didn't videotape it. I mean, it didn't even what was going on. I couldn't believe that I was seeing with my own eyes. To be perfectly honest with you, I wish I would have got it on videotape, but I didn't. But at that point in time, when we walked out of that Walmart, I didn't buy a damn thing because we didn't need anything. When I walked out of there and we went out and got into our car, my wife looked at me and she says, "Thank you." I says, "What are you thanking me for, hon?" And she says, "Thank you for doing what you have done." She says, "I now understand why you have been doing what you did." That's it. In a nutshell, folks. Let's see here. I know what you mean about America. To me, America is us citizens now. Yes, could be. I mean, things are just David Potter about 2 years ago. Yeah, I mean, if you haven't started prepping, you got to get on it now. It's a seed war to make men in his image. Okay. I agree. Coffee first. T-Rex a year ago. Do it while you still can. Let's see. Hello from New Hampshire, Donna. During a homestead at Ledge Hill Farm. Oh, how you doing? Actually sounds kind of familiar. I kind of know the area a little bit. Carl Neff, you are exactly right. He's in a total panic right now. Pitbull says, now is the time. And yes, it is. Jan says she'll be right back. All right, JT, I would help also. And it's nice, Lori. It's nice to see when people step up to the plate. Went today. Jay says we went today. Take advantage of Memorial Day sale. Got a full cart with 3 types of meats for $187. Winco has some amazing deals. Yes, well, if you live anywhere around a Winn-Dixie, today and tomorrow, it's on the way they do their sales, like with their meat. The main big sales and stuff is only on Saturday and Sunday. You can't get those prices any other time. All right, but I mean, they got some really great deals going on right now on meat and stuff, folks. I would highly suggest if you do have a Winn-Dixie in your area, around you, or anything else, by all means, you need to get in there. I mean, we got some incredible deals today. T-bone steaks and ribs and pork chops and fish and all different types of, we got some skirt steaks, and they had, I don't need chicken. We didn't buy any. But they had all different types of chicken was on sale. And they were just having some killer deals this weekend. You get it, buy yourself a vacuum sealer. If you don't have one, if you're curious on what you need to get, go onto my Amazon storefront and at least see what I've got in there, because you vacuum seal that stuff. I've been eating stuff out of the freezer in there, well over a year old. Tastes just like the day you bought it. I mean, come on, you can't go wrong. That vacuum sealer will be the best money that you have spent by far to just about anything. Now, to get the very long term that you're looking for in dried food products, yes, Marlar bags, oxygen absorbers. All right. But you're vacuum sealing your meats, and you can vacuum seal certain dry goods, and you can vacuum seal a lot of things. Paperwork in case of a bad storm, pictures, and there's all kinds of stuff you can do with it. It's a lifesaver. Nevada Bee says ASAP. Yes. People have to wake up, stop playing like they're oysters just because you're putting your head in the sand. It's not going to stop the predator coming to eat you. Yes, I do. I agree. Very good, Bobby. I like that one. All right. Let's see here. These crafts. All right. Lefty Lisa. I started prepping in 2013 when I had my daughter, and I was into couponing. Yes. I mean, there's still some coupons and stuff out there. A lot of them are like the store generated, like because everybody wants you using their app and stuff now. So they'll give you special coupons and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I remember the day when I used to go to the store and years ago, my wife used to be like, "Oh, I hate going to the grocery store with you," because I'd have all my coupons and I'd be going through there. Yeah, I got a coupon for that. I got a coupon for that. I got a coupon for that, you know, and that's just how it was. All American Prepper. I am so off grid. I cook everything on oak wood, and I take a bath in a very small pool, and a 5-gallon bucket is my bathroom. Well, you know what? Good for you, All American Prepper. I mean, if you can really sustain that type of lifestyle and everything else, you're probably way better off than a lot of people. You're probably more prepared and more knowledgeable into a lot of different things that I think a lot of people should be. I personally believe I am trying to gain more knowledge in a lot of different areas, and I'm looking at ways to do that. And I think that everybody should. I don't care if you buy books. I don't care if you take a course, if you do whatever, anything that you can do to help facilitate the issue that you are in, or the issue that you could be put in, not by your own, but by somebody else. We won't mention names. And this way here, you have an idea of how to survive by staying in your own home without having to live in the woods underneath the tent. Because unfortunately, I don't think that even I don't even think a quarter of the American public could last very long outside of the four walls that surround them in their homes, which is nowadays, I don't see it happening. 30, 40 years ago, yeah, probably a lot of people could survive. Now, yeah, people are too used to everything being handed to them. They just couldn't do it. Like piranhas, yes. Oh, David said he started in 91, but nothing happened on Y2K. Oh, I remember those days. Yes, end of the world. Yes, I do remember that. All right, we've gone way over. I know it is Memorial Day weekend, and you people, Francis, hi from Connecticut. How you doing there? And I know everybody probably wants to get back to your family and your friends and everything else, or you're making all your salads and stuff for this upcoming, for tomorrow or Monday, whichever day you're really celebrating. I'm celebrating both. Tomorrow we're doing ribs, coleslaw, and haven't decided on if we're going to do like twice baked potatoes or not. And then on Memorial Day, we're doing what are we doing? We're doing hamburgers and stuff like that on Memorial Day. My wife may make some homemade macaroni salad that is to die for. It's a New York recipe. Oh, it's really good. Yeah, we're just going to enjoy. Unfortunately, it's just me and her. We're just going to enjoy ourselves. And then Tuesday, it's back to work. That good old thing we have to do, right, folks? My grandmother lived through the Depression in Poland and she was always prepped. Yes, I mean, I remember a lot of what my grandmother. My mummy thought I was crazy too for the last 8 years or so. I now freeze dry everything I can, even my daughter's newborn. Laugh out loud. Now, what to do with it is the question, but at least I have it. Okay, that was a good one. All right. I was once a man trapped in a woman's body until my mother gave birth to me. Laugh out loud. That's one way to look at it. MSM Hollywood work hand in hand with State Department goons. All we have in MSM is intelligence agencies who bend their knees to their masters. Good point there. All right. I'd like to thank everybody. I mean, you guys have been great. I didn't really think there'd be too many people on here because of the holiday weekend, but you once again have surprised me. Now, what I want to make sure that we have to be prepared. This Memorial Day weekend could be a very good opportunity to get out there, hit the stores, and try and get some of those goods that you need, because we're going to need all types of food and we're going to need everything that we need. They're running great deals on a lot of the different stores. Everybody wants your money while you still got it, if you really get what I'm saying here, folks. So we've got to get out there. You got to get going. You got to get prepping. You got to get moving, because time is of the essence, and the only one that can change this is you. I can tell you what to do. I can talk to you about it. I can show you. I can give you graphs. I can give you a paper with a whole list on it. But unless you take the opportunity and you want to go out and actually do it physically for yourself, I can't do that. I try to do everything that I can. And like I said, once again, I want to make sure that everybody out there is staying safe and staying prepared and everything else. I want to thank all my moderators for being on here, JT and Jan and Coffee First. I didn't see Cassie tonight. And the one of our new ones, Southern Florida DCL. He is going to be a new moderator. And I just saw Stuart prepping. Hey, Stuart, how you doing? I'm glad to see you. And I hope everything is doing well with you. Everybody go check out Stuart prepping. I know I talk about him all the time, but go check out Stuart prepping. So once again, everybody, I just want to thank everybody. Make sure you're smashing that subscribe button, hitting that notification bell, and give me a great, big, huge thumb up or whatever. I'm trying to get the algorithm to start picking back up my channel since I've been hacked. It's going to take me time and time and time and time, but I'm not giving up. They're not going to get me that easy. So they're trying to shut me up. Well, you just picked off the wrong little rattlesnake. And here's another one. I also want to make sure that everybody out there, including all the mods and all the members and everything else, I want to say thank you. And I want to make sure that everybody does realize there is going to be a video coming out this week for members only. And we're going to be going on, hopefully setting up some members only live stream once we get past this holiday here and get that going. We are working right now on some new merchandise coming out. I want to get some really cool shirts with some really cool sayings on them. I have these here that just has, my stuff and everything else. But I want to start getting a message out. All right. And I'm working with somebody that's trying to get this all done up for me. And we're coming up with some really great sayings and stuff. So hopefully here soon we'll have some new merchandise coming out. You can always check out what I have now. There's all kinds of stuff in there. And I think there's like 4 or 5, maybe 6 different styles and designs and everything. You can hit up that merchandise site and check it out. It's right there on the my homepage right there. And you can just go right there and just click on that. It's right next to the Amazon. And if anybody is looking for anything, make sure you do check out my Amazon site. Like I said, you do not have to buy anything. I set that up basically so that it gives you an idea of what you need to be looking for and all different types of price ranges and everything else. And then you can go shopping and find whatever you are really comfortable with or you can afford. I would like to thank everybody for taking time out on your Memorial Day weekend. If there is any veterans in here, or if there's any family members in here that have lost a veteran and that has paid the ultimate sacrifice, my hat goes out to you and your family, because without them, we wouldn't be having this discussion. So once again, happy Memorial Day to everybody. And don't forget the real reason why we are celebrating and get a 3-day weekend. It's not to cook the hot dogs, the hamburgers, and the ribs. It's not for the chicken. It's not for the pulled pork. It's not the potato salad. It's because of the men and women that have given the ultimate sacrifice so that we have what we have in this country. And hats off to all them. So it's the next Saturday night, and I can get you all again live, 8 p.m. Saturday. You all stay safe and keep prepping. And you all have a wonderful and safe holiday. And I'll see you all next Saturday. Good night.